welcome to Fractured Focus, episode number 27, the show where we obsess about everything from geek culture to nerd news, along with random topics for discussion. I'm one of your hosts, Ben Gordon, and coming in live from the great state of Nebraska, the original swino of Omaha himself, Mr. Matt Swinehart. Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
We've had a big week already.
Omaha's kind of digging out from the storm.
Why?
They had a couple of tornadoes come through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
were they
a lot of down branches.
What were they on the Fujita scale?
I don't know anything about Fujita.
You don't remember the movie Twister and you're in Tornado Alley?
We got cows.
None of our fans are buying that. I used to watch.
I still don't know why that guy was a bad guy.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's just after it for the money.
God, that made me. I haven't watched this in a few years. I don't even know if it's still on, but I used to watch Storm Chasers on a Discovery Channel all the time.
I don't know if it still is either.
God,
I think they had somebody die a couple of years ago, and they kind of stopped doing it.
Isn't that the most easily predictable eventuality when you have that many people chasing after tornadoes? Of course, that's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, not to be not sensitive to that, but you know what I mean. Anyway, we had a big week.
E2.
Yeah.
That's it. E2 is what they classified it, so I don't know what that is. Or F2.
Well, it goes from E1 to E, like EF, I think. I don't know what the E stands for. F Fujita, whatever it is. It goes from 1 to 5, where 5 is like the worst, and so 2 isn't that bad. So you should be complaining about that. In fact, you should.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even stop your gameplay for that.
Yeah, all those people with brand new houses that are on the ground.
Get a basement. You're in the Midwest. This is the price that we pay for not getting to live on sunny coasts. So we had a big week already. We already posted finally our Game of Thrones, Matt's season 6 reaction. Finally saw season 6. We're only a couple weeks away from episode 7, season 7. Sorry, but E3 was also last week. Now, since this is probably the most timely show out there, which
obviously,
when you think about it, doesn't really make a difference. We're not a news show. We're just we like to talk about this shit and goof around. And for those of you that do watch regularly, you know that's what it is. So if you're coming here for news, you're already out of the loop and you're screwed. But E3
breaking news.
We need to add a graphic that says breaking and then in parentheses like a week and a half ago. It did happen. We got some cool announcements. We'd like to talk about. We're obviously not going to talk about everything that happened because, again, we're not the news. And quite frankly, there's a lot of stuff that we don't give a shit about. But let's talk about some of the stuff we are excited about. And there wasn't a whole lot for Microsoft other than one big piece of information. That's Xbox One X. I'm not really an Xbox guy. Nothing against the Xbox. I'm just more of a PlayStation, Nintendo guy. You've got a PlayStation 4. You had a PlayStation 3 now. Remind me, were you ever into Xbox?
Yeah, I had the original Xbox.
The original one. Okay, so the OG way back in the day, but you haven't done 360 or Xbox One or anything since then.
I've played them at other people's houses.
Right. Okay. Well, you might be a bigger Xbox One guy than I am, but other than that, in the game Anthem, it was really just kind of specs, Xbox One X, Xbox One X. It's coming in at $500. It's going to be a powerful beast, can do full 4K for all these games, unlike the PS4 Pros could do 4K depending on the game and how you program it for. I remember a year ago when they announced this, because they've been pushing this this reveal for a year now, thinking, man, Microsoft did it right. They're going the full 4K route, and now it's out or announced. I'm like, whatever. You know, how about you?
They made a big deal about, we learned from our mistake before. This is going to be fully backwards compatible. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, I think they're going to have to do. There's just not going to be enough content out there.
Right. I mean, what they've said is it's in the Xbox One family. So now you got the Xbox One S and you got the Xbox One X. So that's cool. Kind of makes it not a next. I mean, it's more powerful if that's what you define as next generation, but it's not a next generation as far as a stopping point developed only for this system. So I don't know. This is just, first of all, powerful as hell, great. Didn't say anything about VR yet. Maybe they're just waiting and buying their time.
That's something I made a note of too.
Yeah, it is still early. Let's be honest. Every great VR or all the great VR content out there is really experimental, and for the most part, their experience is more than full-fledged games, which is the learning curve we have in this new industry, whatever. But man, when you're the underdog that's getting outsold by Sony 2-1, and then you come out with this console that how many people actually even have 4K TVs? and you charge $500. How do you see this changing their trajectory at all? Because I don't.
No, I think it's kind of a thumb in the face of the PlayStation Pro, the PlayStation 4 Pro or whatever it is.
But I guess when it comes right down to it, wouldn't you think the only people that are going to buy, well, maybe a few enthusiasts, but for like large numbers, who is the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X for right now, other than those severe enthusiasts? So because you're going to have to charge more money for that advanced technology, why not just wait until it's been a few years and people are finally ready in bulk to buy, and by then the tech that you've already put in now and are charging $500 would have been down to the $400 or less that if you would have come out at the appropriate. I don't know. I just don't get the strategy of doing a mid-cycle console that they're going to this iterative. It just seems weird.
Well, that's just it. How long has the Xbox One been out? Is it 4 years now? 5 years?
3? Maybe 4. And again, if they would have waited until at least 5, you're right, 1 more year, and it would have seemed like time for another generation, even if it's a little bit early. That would have been. I just don't get why they're doing this. This just seems so weird to me.
Not without some new kind of platforming or like you said, actually make the content for that.
Right. I mean, it's going to be able to do VR.
Are they still going to sell Xbox One S?
Yeah. In fact, I bet you that's going to way outsell this because of the price, $250 or $500.
Yeah. Price point's huge.
I just don't get why do this now when if you would have waited a year and more people would actually buy it and you can sell it more affordably. Like if you needed to get it out now because this is in high demand and you're going to start putting out VR content right now, great. But they're not. They're saying, oh, we'll do it down the road. What the fuck are you putting this console out for? For that small percentage of people that have 4K TVs? And maybe that number is bigger than what I thought it is, but from every journalist website I read to everybody's opinion that I talk to, that's sure not the feeling I get.
Yeah, no, kind of cool to see.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna run out and buy one.
I'm happy with an even lower powered device called the Nintendo Switch. I love that even more. So I don't know. And I don't wish Microsoft not to do well. I hope that does. I mean, a healthy competitive environment is better for all of us. It's just watching Microsoft's conference this year. It was like there was the Xbox One X. They showed off Anthem. Nothing that blew me away, and then I was kind of like, well, that happened. I mean, not bad. It just wasn't good or great in my opinion. But anyway, that's my opinion. For those of you watching,
they came out of the gate.
Yeah, I'm curious for those of you watching who thought that this was great. Go ahead.
The articles that I was reading was like what Sony needs to do now is cut the price of the Pro to $350.
I don't even think they need to. I don't think that this is in danger of taking any of the PS4 Pro market share. In fact, I think the PS4 Pro market share is probably so small enough that their main bread and butter is still the PS4. So like trying to worry about if you got the PS4 and then you got the PS4 Pro, and then you're worried about that market share, this tiny market share here, losing to the Xbox One, and they're going to pay $100 more for it. That might change your difference by that much. I don't think they give a shit. They're killing it.
Yeah.
But
well, I just got my 4, so
yeah, exactly. And how awesome does Horizon look?
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I remember watching that game. The first few games that came out in PS4, I'm like, I can't really tell a difference between the PS3 and this. And then a game like Horizon comes out, and you're like, whoa, daddy likey. That was not being done on the PlayStation 3. Yeah, that was good. Anyway, let's get to some of the stuff that we are more interested in. PlayStation, Sony announcements. We got more God of War.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
Sony's conference didn't really blow me away, mainly because last year was awesome. There was a bunch of unexpected reveals, and unfortunately, this wasn't bad for Sony, in my opinion. It's just like we got a whole bunch of stuff that we knew we were going to get, and it looks good, but I wasn't blown away or surprised or shocked at all.
I feel like we just came off the Sony conference, so all those games we saw there.
Yeah. It's really hard when last year you had all this great stuff upcoming like Horizon Zero Dawn, Zelda Breath of the Wild, all this stuff. And now it's like, if you think you're going to beat that last year, you really have to pull out all the stops. But Battlefront 2 was cool. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The EA show for me was cringeworthy, just so all over the place, and people trying to act like they're Apple and Steve Jobs up there talking, where you're just like cringing, like just stop, just you don't need. Just show us, do what Sony did, just show us trailers. This is coming. Stop trying to act like you're this amazing speaker type of guy or terrible acting. It's hard for me to bear through that stuff. But the Battlefront 2 stuff was cool, but then when they did a whole half hour of live stream gameplay, why couldn't they have done that extra afterwards or whatever? Because by then, after a half an hour, and watching people play PC, I used to, I'm console now. Watching people move with their mouse through first-person shooters so quick, for the average person that doesn't do that and just sticks to console shooters, makes you want to throw up, and it's not fun, let alone a half an hour of it. But
it was all over the place.
Yeah,
sure.
But Battlefront 2, how do you think? I mean, that just looks amazing. 3 times the content.
The texture graphics were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Still something missing in the character graphics, though.
Think so?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just the thing about it that they're, and I know it's just a platforming thing. The way that the shadows on the characters don't match the surroundings, at times it almost looks like they're standing out from everything else.
Oh, really?
And to me, it's just like Horizon's not really that way. I don't think. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn, things like blend in. You got to like look for stuff.
Yeah.
There's not like a strong outline.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was watching that Battlefront thing, I mean, I was like looking at the droids, and it looked like the droids were like they had an outline around them almost.
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
it's like you're really not making it any more challenging.
Let's cross our fingers and hope that. I mean, it said it was pre-alpha. You know what I mean? They still have another 6 months to work on this game, so let's hope. Because I mean, the original the Battlefront last year, I thought looked great. You know what I mean?
I thought it was a good looking game too. Yeah.
So yeah, let's just hope that's not the case. Looks great, lots of content. As much as we don't like the prequels, getting to play in Naboo in a fight like that, yeah, I'm all in. That looked cool. Yeah. That looked really cool. So we got that. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I'm so freaking pumped for this. I thought everybody was expecting just a quick little DLC offshoot for like $20 or $30 that would be more than just DLC, but not a full game. And now it's looking to be a lot closer to a full. And I think they said they're going to charge $40 for it, so we're going to get good content. Love Chloe. Which Uncharted games have you played this far? You just played 2, right?
I've played 3.
You played 3. So
and
after,
I started 4, but Horizon is
but don't start 4.
My time.
You do Horizon first. I'm going to tell you. You got to do this. Play Horizon through and get through that story because it keeps getting better as you go exponentially, right up to the end. Awesome, perfect 10 game. Then after that, you got to get the Uncharted collection for like $20, and you got to play the remastered.
I already got it.
You do? Okay, great. Play 1, 2, and 3 first before you play 4. Because it's like it makes 4 is such a great bookend for the series that kind of goes a little bit before 1 and also right after 3. It's a good encapsulation of the series, and you're not going to get the full appreciation unless you do the whole collection. So that's what you got to do. Okay, good. That's settled. Destiny 2 announced a year of exclusivity for extra features or content for the PlayStation. I know this game is huge. I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I don't play it. Do you?
I played a lot of it.
Did you? Did you like it?
A lot of repetition, a lot of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The multiplayer fell short big time.
Didn't everybody say that at first, but then with their upgrades, finally by the time with patches and stuff.
Once you started buying the game 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. That's what people are saying. I think on IGN they said, when it came out, everybody was expecting a 10, it was like a 6, but by the time they kept fixing it, by the time it got to the final iteration, it was basically like a 9. Is what they were saying, but
I never dumped that much money into it.
Yeah, I'm just not, and I'm also not the Halo guy. You know what I mean? I'm more the Metroid Prime first-person adventure than I am the Call of Duty or Destiny 2. I think they're fun. It's cool to do with a couple friends, but I just don't get that into it. I'm more story-driven than I think multiplayer-only driven. But we got that. We got Days Gone. Looks like another post-apocalyptic, very gorgeous graphic game. I'm still kind of like. I'm just zombied out. Everything's zombie, post-apocalyptic. The world ended. It was a virus. It was blah blah blah. I'm just so
nuclear war, Fallout, all those things.
Other than The Last of Us, none of these games. As soon as I see it, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Washed out colors. Everything's terrible. People are acting more primal. I'm overdone with it, but I'm sure it's going to be a great game and probably sell really well. So you hear that?
It looks really good.
Days Gone developer, feel free to advertise on our channel because clearly I just sold that game for you. Horizon DLC. Yes. I'm going to leave it at that. Shadow of Colossus, complete from the ground up remake. That should be awesome.
A remake or remastered?
Remake.
Because I thought it was.
Talk to the developer. He said it from the ground remake. The only thing they're keeping true is the gameplay, but that is a complete remake.
Okay. Because I have it on the PS3.
Do you?
I have a remastered on the PS3.
Yeah, that was the HD
PS2.
remaster, but this is a from the ground up for the PS4 remake, so it's going to be graphically better. But I mean, if you've already got the HD remake, and if you've already bought this game once or twice, are you really going to buy it a third time?
Yeah. Well, and then it came with a game. What was it called? Ico.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ended up playing Ico more than I did the other one.
Yeah, and I've got a. Did that originally come out on the PlayStation 2, right? Or was it the PS?
Yeah, I think both of them did.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see that did. And then I think what's the best looking game for PlayStation 4? Freaking Spider-Man.
Spider-Man did look good.
I'm
hoping the gameplay can hold up to it.
Yeah. Well, it looked like it from the demos that they had and showing the button layouts and stuff like that. And for a lot of people gave it game of the show when they got to try it out or whatever. But again, this is all still pre-alpha. It's not coming out till next year. But if it can hold up to gameplay, and you know what it reminds me of is the Batman Arkham series.
I hope so.
And those were awesome.
Complete open world like that.
Oh man, yeah, that's what they said.
Awesome.
They said it was open world, go wherever and find stuff, and but that looked amazing too. So I'm overall, I don't know how much you checked out in the other conferences. I watched Ubisoft.
What was the trailer with the monkey? There was damn it! I wish I could have.
What was it about?
Written it down. Like a monkey finds something and he gives it to the guy, and it turns out to be fake. He takes something from him, and then there's like a chase through the city, kind of like a Fifth Element type thing.
A monkey gives something to
and then
a guy?
they get on it's like a talking monkey.
Okay. Oh, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
There you go.
Yeah, that's been in development for a fucking decade.
Yeah. That trailer looks sweet though.
It does, but here's what's funny. That game has been being made for 10 years, and not only did they not give us a release date, all they say is, help us keep developing it. Give us some feedback. We have no fucking idea if this game's going to come out next year in 2020. Who frickin' knows?
More money.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that was something that people have been wanting for a long time, but it's been in development. Hell, what the hell have they been doing for 10 years? And now they say, by the way, now help us because we don't know what we're doing. Like, I don't get that. Who knows? It did. It's interesting, like the first Beyond Good and Evil, but it'll be interesting to see where that goes. So who knows? We'll get to Nintendo's next, but did you see any of the other conferences or highlights from them? I watched Bethesda's and Ubisoft's and EA's. I thought EA's was dragged on. I mean, they're the biggest publisher out there. Bethesda's I thought was cool. We got Doom in virtual reality. That's cool.
Yeah.
And you teleport with it. Fallout 4 whole game in VR. I'm interested to see how many people are going to throw up when you try moving yourself with the joystick while the whole world is coming at you. We'll see how that experiment works. And there was other stuff from there, but again, nothing that really interested us as much too. But I don't know. Overall, do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about from Sony or Microsoft?
No, I mean, just Sony, obviously content heavy.
Yep. I thought they were way better than Microsoft, Bethesda's, Ubisoft, or EA's. Sony's was. I mean, it was just trailers, hype, pumped you up. Here's what's coming. Quick little chat, and then they moved on. I love that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, for those of you watching, let us know of those conferences we just spoke of. What do you think people did right or wrong? Let us know what you think in the comments below.